Welcome to the Risk Forever channel guys, the channel which shares the most relevant tips and tricks on how to win at Risk, and improve your rank in no time. Subscribe to the channel and you won't even see how fast you will become so much better at Risk. Push that notification bell to see new videos first. This is your host Champion Ever. And today we are playing 6-player progressive card game on classic Risk map. Settings, alliances on, balanced blitz dice rolls in 60 seconds per turn. The developers have recently hidden the player ranks while in the game, so I don't exactly know what rated opponents I'm playing with, but I set the intermediate rank as the minimum rank, meaning that my opponents could be either intermediate, expert, master or even Grandmaster rank. In any case you will see them at the end of the video. And of course there is a green expert difficulty computer player. It's supposed to be another real player but she didn't ready up. This time I'm playing on my alternative account called Troy Cooper 34 and I'm the red player in this game. As always, wish me best of luck guys, as I will definitely need it today. One of the most important thing in progressive card games could be to be spread out well enough to have some troops or armies in multiple places of the map if possible. As you can see currently I have my troops in 3 different continents, North America, Europe and Asia. But all of my troops are basically next to each other, so technically it could be considered just as one place. Well, the way to access my 6 troops in Greenland is obstructed by the 7 troops of Orange in Iceland. But it seems he is going for Africa, so he will potentially move them out to it, and then I will be looking completely bad as spreading out wise. So to prevent that of happening, I will try my best to move my armies as far away from each other as possible. But if I see that it still doesn't work out well for me, then I will just combine some of them into one. And in the worst case scenario I will still have 2 of them into 2 different places, as I see nobody is going for North America, so one of the armies will be here, and obviously nobody will ever get to hold Asia, so if I see that I cannot really spread out these 3 other armies over this area, like additionally moving to the bottom of Africa, then I will just combine these 3 armies into one. As there is no benefit to have your troops split in basically the same area, because it just makes for your opponents to crush them easier, while for yourself it becomes harder to take someone out. So if you see that your troops basically are in the same area, then better combine them into one army as it will give you more benefit for you. The purple player is the most lucky player in this game. He got fortunate to capture Australia in his 2nd turn. The yellow player had some troops into it and near to it as well, but he was smart enough not to fight for it, because it would have just been dumb. As if they had fought for Australia, then in the worst case scenario it could have been cleared out for another player who had some troops near, for example me, so in the result they would have just ended up of losing a lot of troops. And in the best case scenario, one of them would have taken over Australia and eventually regained the troops he lost, while another one would have just lost a lot of troops, ending up as the weakest player having the biggest chances of getting eliminated first. So to put yourself into 50-50 situation where you either have Australia or lose the game, isn't worth at all, especially when there is a possibility to clear out the continent for another player for free. Anyways, when you have some troops in Australia, and another player has some troops into it as well, then the best decision for the game would be that both of you would keep your troops into it without fighting for it, maybe just occasionally adding some troops into it, so some new player wouldn't clear you both out from here deciding to go for Australia by himself. So while both of you have some troops in Australia you will both be spread out more and nobody will have a better advantage over another one. And in overall it's the best to prevent any of the players from getting continents in progressive card games if possible. Well, it's the best for the game, but not necessarily mean that it's the best choice. As unless the players are very decent, and I mean like really decent, then they will just think that you want to fight with them for that continent and then they will just simply crush your troops, and not even realizing that it was a very bad decision, as it really weakened both of you, making you both way easier targets. So in the public lobbies, even if you play with master rank players, it almost always better to move out your troops from the continents the players are going for, or not to add any troops into small continents like Australia or South America at all, as almost always someone will go for these continents, so if you add your troops there, then they will just simply be cleared out, even if you add a lot of them, as if a player doesn't realize that it doesn't worth to crush your troops for a continent, then he just doesn't realize that. So you should be smarter than him and just move your troops out. It's better than to highly risk of getting your troops crushed ending up very weak. Also you have to keep in mind, if you see that a player is very desperate to go for a continent, then he quite likely doesn't know that the most important thing in progressive cards is to take other players out when it's worth for their cards. So even though they will have more troops, they might still end up missing some of good opportunities which would make them win. So at least that's something you can feel very good about, and also in the best way scenario that player who has an advantage by having a continent, could just end up blocking his continent army, highly decreasing his chances to win. Like usually a lot of inexperienced players who capture Australia in progressive card games, just tend to capture India and China territories, leaving their army blocked in Siam. So in that case they really being in a disadvantageous position to win. As with having majority of the troops blocked, it will become very hard if not impossible to take someone out for them. So anyways, by observing all the situation and the player's game style, I would say that from all of my opponents, the yellow player is the most decent over here. He knows about the importance about being spread out and has his troops in 3 different spots of the map, in Africa, North America and Asia. So he would be hard to be taken out by others, and have the better accessibility to take out others by himself. Well, it seems the orange is trying to spread out as well, but he's making a huge mistake by having a lot of smaller armies in the same spots of the map. By not having his troops consolidated, it will be hard for him to go for a hunt to take someone out, and additionally whoever decides to go for orange later on in the game, will get a very good attacker advantage by crushing all his small armies. And also I'm not even mentioning the fact that some of his armies could get crushed when someone tries to take someone else out, as some of these armies will definitely be on the way. The least experienced player in this game is probably purple. He not only didn't let yellow move his troops out from Australia, but additionally he ran out of time that turn in the beginning of the game. And after finally capturing Australia, he fortified his troops into a wrong territory to guard. Now he ran out of time making a turn and getting a card again. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to crush Blue's biggest army just for South America. And the blue player is the most mysterious player in this game. I don't know the reason why she adds her troops into South America, as if it is to prevent others from capturing it, then it's good. But if she wants to capture South America by herself by crushing other player troops, then it's dumb. She also has a few troops into other spots of the map, but I think they're only here because she doesn't want to block the South American army, but not because to be more spread out enough. So I'm not that sure about the blue player, guys. And OMG guys. I cannot believe that the blue player has just succeeded on purple, la. Or if she really think that it was a great decision, then she just made the biggest mistake of her life. As she just made the purple player and herself as very easy targets to be taken out for the cards. So let's already say a goodbye for the purple player as he is being taken out by orange. And then if the yellow player doesn't take out blue, then I will gladly take her out by myself. But shoot, he does have a set, so there's no way he fails this one. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the game, guys, don't you never ever go for South America or Australia in the public lobbies, well, unless you see that you totally have them, or don't even add your troops here if someone is already putting a lot of them. As some players, even if they high ranked, just suicide on you for their desperation of a continent, without even realizing that they just totally ruin the game for themselves. So it's better not to mess up with them, as I even saw some lower ranked Grandmasters suiciding for the continents in progressive card games as well. Anyways, I'm going for the orange player, guys. Since he was splitting his troops into multiple different armies, he wasn't that much well set up to take the blue player out for 3 cards, trading in a set in the same turn and being safe. So he took the purple out instead, and ended being with the 5 cards as a potential target to be taken out. That's some risk to go for him, but I think we will get him guys, right? But come on you son of a dice. Wow, I've just drastically failed. No dice, I've got absolutely no dice. The dice must be hating me. Well, the good news that the bots are too dumb enough to take someone out when they totally have a good opportunity, so the orange player gets to survive, since his turn is before yellow's one. But the bad news is that I will get taken out anyways, whether orange or yellow take me out, so I will end up being 4th or 3rd anyways. The green bot might die before me. But alright, I see that the orange player is smart enough not to give away me for the yellow player. He saw that it wasn't possible to capture all my territories in time for him, so he stopped and additionally started guarding me in Australia, so the yellow player wouldn't get even 2 easy cards by taking me out. So huge applause goes to the orange player for that. Anyways, I'm not sure why the yellow player has basically missed his whole turn over here. He just attacked a territory to get a card, while he could completely taken the orange player out. Yes, he wouldn't have traded in a set in the same turn, but that wouldn't have mattered at all, because orange was the only threat for him. I was at 2 cards, so there was no way for me to trade in a set to take him or the green bot out after that. And as we know that the bots are not any threat at all, so even if the bot had traded in a set at 3 cards, then he wouldn't have done any damage for yellow at all. So the yellow player totally blundered the game over here. He missed his opportunity to win, however his chances to easily win haven't gone yet. Now he could safely take the green bot out for even 4 cards, and after it, he could take me out as well, and then finish dealing with the orange player as well. Well, to be honest, the orange player could have just taken the green bot out as well, but on the other hand he wouldn't have been able to trade in a set in the same turn, so he might have been taken out by the yellow player if yellow had stopped being so slow. Well, the yellow player has just missed his opportunity to easily win again. So here might be my time to shine, I guess. My wild trap card has been activated. I've got extremely lucky to have a wild card and trade in a set at 3 cards. So after all, the game has not necessarily been lost for me yet. If my opponents weren't so passive, then I would have definitely not taken out green bot out while not having an ability to trade in a set in the same turn, so I would have used 1 or 0 carding strategy instead. But since they have been missing so many opportunities and are slow in general, I decided to take the risk and take out the green bot out, ending up having 5 cards without ability to trade in a set in the same turn. Even though it was risky, I think it was still way better decision rather than to start 0 carding. As I'm pretty sure that the orange player would have finally taken the green bot out in case I didn't, so then he would have had a decent advantage against yellow. So either getting the 3rd place or 2nd, I would have still lost. Anyways, as you saw, my army was put in a very blocked place to yellow, so in case he hadn't have had a set, it would have been very hard if not impossible to take me out, with additionally the orange player blocking some of my territories. Well, unfortunately for me, the yellow player was fortunate to trade in a set at 3 cards, but guess what happened again, guys? He missed a potential opportunity again in case he had the camera animations turned off, so I've got lucky to survive while he missed a chance to win once again. And after all, I just cannot believe that he decided to completely block his 100 troops army, meaning that there is no way he will take either me or orange out, as long as he keeps his army there. Or as long as neither I or orange unleash his army. Well, at least I won't, so I hope the orange player will be smart too, and won't unleash his blocked army as well, so unless he would see that it would become worth to do that later on at some point of the game. As you can see, I'm trying to be very careful here to not block my army, so this is why I attacked a territory which contained 3 troops of orange instead of 1, as if I had attacked any other territory in Europe, then my biggest army would have become blocked. Well, a very bad thing was that I forgot that having a wild card I had a set at 3 cards, so I not only forgot to trade in a set, but additionally I totally blundered the game. As if I hadn't forgotten to trade in a set, then I would have taken the orange player out, and with the yellow's biggest army being blocked, I would have absolutely won the game. and the saddest thing is that the orange player was very lucky to trade in a set at 3 cards, so the opportunity has been completely missed for me. And I'm not sure anymore how this game is going to go. As you can see, we all have been blundering the game by missing the opportunities to win, and I'm not sure if we're getting the opportunities again. Well, we just really need to hope that someone doesn't have a set at 4 cards, so someone might get to take someone out for even 5 cards and have a decent endgame with another player. But still, I'm not sure how that would go anyways. But OMG guys. The yellow player doesn't have a set at 4 cards indeed. So I think it would be worth a risk, right? Of course this South American army is blocked by 25 troops of orange, but with potentially getting a very good attacking advantage I might succeed. And that's right baby. Here we go. That's what I call a decent blitz roll. It's my time to shine now, it's the show time. With having 8 cards in total, I will trade in 2 sets at once, so it will be not a big deal to deal with the orange player as well. So I just hope I won't be too slow, I hope I make my moves fast enough, and take him out in time too. The clock goes tick, tack, tick, tack, tick, tack, tick. And here we go Phyllis, we've just made in time. What an epic comeback. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then I would recommend checking some of these progressive card games out as well. Watching more videos will help you to progress so much faster. Highly increase your skills by simply watching Risk videos.